Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me again. You're a foul player and you stepped into the foul play lane. I was doing this video regarding some news in relation to a Wilder AJ matchup, and I mean it's just it's not rumors, but I don't think it's anything that's gonna gain any substantial traction. I just like to listen to videos that have to do with the AJ Wilder matchup. I find them kind of funny, like when you scroll through the comments and whatnot, and like I like to delve into the psyche of a new phenomenon in boxing called AJ fanboys, fucking retards. And the reason I'm gonna try to do more videos like that in the future is because one, they're sensational, but two, being that a lot of like these people that are like avid AJ fans like probably just started watching boxing like because they thought AJ was cute. Pause. They're not like used to something that real boxing fans used to contend with in 2012 and 2011, which were even worse than like the AJ fanboys. Actually, no, they were more of them than AJ fanboys, but they weren't extreme as the AJ fanboys, and that was something which used to be widely regarded as packtards. That was the avid Pacquiao fans who just started watching boxing when Pacquiao started rising to prominence. The reason I say they're not as bad as AJ fans is because at least Pacquiao fans were like pushing for a Pacquiao fight, and I think in their heart of hearts they thought that Pacquiao could beat Mayweather. You know, there was a time when a lot of people thought Pacquiao could beat Mayweather, but they were like pushing for the fight, and I guess they didn't like attribute blame so much like from on one side to the other. But we're in like a different age now, even though it's like not that long ago. But like now it's like even more of an age of information, and like things happen like a little bit more expediently, where you get a lot of these news things that come down the pipe like really fast. But the problem was before with the pack tards that there were so many of them, and they were like on the internet like all the time, blowing up comments. Even more so as far as the sheer numbers than like AJ fans. The problem with the AJ fans though is that with and why I like to listen to a lot of these videos discussing a potential AJ Wilder matchup is that they're not even pushing for the fight. They're like talking business and like like resumes, which are you can't even differentiate much from one to the next. I mean, I think they do that not knowing that nobody ever talks that way like in the past. Like, yo, your guy can't fight my guy because my guy has fought a couple of C-level guys where your guy fought a mixture of C and B and D. So I mean, that's like unheard of, like for people that talk boxing in any rational way. A long time ago, in the yesteryears of 2014. But this AJ phenomenon has changed the landscape for the worst. And now, I mean, I'm not saying that he's the forerunner of all that stuff, but you hear like fucking Big Baby talk that way. You hear like now you sort of hear Errol Spence talk that way, Bud Crawford. Unfortunately, like when Jarrett Heard won that last matchup, and Charlo came into the ring, I found that to be cool. And then they started saying like shit within the ring about who's the A side. Like, God, I don't want to hear this shit no more, man. Like you guys are like some thousandaires, like not AJ and like Wilder so much, but like some of these other guys that are like throwing that stuff out there, like the business side. Like, stop it. Like, it's the difference with you guys on that lower tier, like of $100,000 most times. I mean, like, if you want to be that dude, man, like, just clear out like everybody who's in front of you. Fight 3 times a year, take on good fights all the time. By the time you hit like 30 and 31, fuck around and you could be the next Mayweather. Like, but these guys, like, they want to wiggle their way into like fighting twice a year, fighting these ultra safe matches. Like, once you get to that top level, like, for instance, if AJ were to unify or Wilder were to unify, any fight that they fight, it's a huge matchup, bro. It's pay-per-view, like, because you're fighting for all the marbles every time. So, to me, like, I think in the short term, like, these guys should be making sacrifices now while still getting paid good money to, like, get that big climb at the end of the like at the end of the rainbow. And this is not applicable to Anthony Joshua, and here's why. In his case, those belts he got, like, I mean, like, he fell right into them. Like, it was careful matchmaking. There was some dodgy things that were going on behind the scene. Once Luis Ortiz pissed hot, somehow fucking Klitschko ended up with a ranking. Like, it was a bunch of, he fought like Charles Martin, like, with his tight ass shorts. I don't think he could. His legs were getting circulation due to his size medium shorts that he was wearing that night. So I mean, like, he ends up with 3 of the belts, like, which everybody knows. And then he's taking on competition that's no worse than like Charles Martin, like, and no better than Klitschko. And for the foreseeable future, he's gonna be taking on competition within that threshold. So when a lot of these AJ fans use the resume thing, it's, even though it's funny, it's like frustrating because it's like old regurgitated bullshit. And if it held credence in the past. All right, now we're past that. Like, so shouldn't we be like aiming for like a fight to be made, like, between like these guys who you consider the 2 top guys, not like a Dillian White Chisora winner, which is gonna be like Dillian White more likely than not. Like, but I already see like on comments for like that potential matchup between a White and AJ, or a whatever the fuck this middleweight. I mean or between Usyk and AJ. Like, oh, those are good matchups. Like, like, no, they're not, bro. That's like, do you want to like those are like just regular fights. Like, nobody wants to see regular fights. When a regular fight ends up not being like a bloodbath, it's considered a whack fight. Like, not like, oh, that there was a ton of people there, like an event. Like, those are like boring fights. It's like when AJ fought Povetkin. I mean, there was nothing at stake, really. I mean, like, the only thing that was at stake was AJ losing, like, and that upsetting the apricot, like, for a Wilder matchup in negotiations. Like, I mean, there's nothing at stake there. Like, who cares? Or like when he fought Joseph Parker. I mean, it was for a belt. It's cool, but there wasn't no knockout. Like, it went the distance. I mean, I remember the interviewer asked AJ his reaction regarding that fight, and immediately he puts his hands up and he starts describing like that he was working behind the jab because he knew he fought an ass cheek fight, bro, and like nobody wanted to watch that. It's just like, ugh, like those are like very vanilla fights. Like, now what? Like, now, like, make the matchup that everybody wants. Not fucking give excuses as to why we can't make up the matchup that everybody wants, or why that number 2 to number 3 guy in Wilder, if you consider him the second best or third best, like, why he shouldn't get an AJ matchup with God's gift AJ. Like, it's stupid. Like, who else is he gonna fight? He's not gonna fight Tyson Fury, who's either the number 1 or 2 or 3 guy. Like, so you're gonna fight Dillian White, who's between a number 10 to number 5 guy, or number 10 to number 4 guy at very best, which I think Luis Ortiz washes Dillian White. It's trash matchups. But anyways, today, as of the time of this video, apparently Eddie Hearn landed in Los Angeles to discuss the potential matches for his Matchroom fighters. Like, who? The only Matchroom fighters like anybody gives a shit about, sort of, is like Amir Khan, fucking Usyk, and Kell Brook. Amir Khan and Kell Brook supposedly is a done deal. Like, they're gonna fight. Dillian White's gonna fight Chisora. Nobody cares. You're giving the impression that you're flying to Los Angeles to make a matchup for Anthony Joshua and Wilder. I think he's just saving face, and I think he's just trying to get out of the rain and overcast skies of the UK and take a little hiatus in Los Angeles. Probably get a blowjob from an escort. Man, a male escort. In that little couple dates he's gonna spend out here and save face. And it'll probably only cost him the flight and the hotel stay. So he's probably down $2,000 just to make it seem like he was wheeling and dealing and trying to make a fight happen. It's all bullshit, though. I mean, he's already said a statement that Wilder's performance against Fury is gonna work against him, like, for Anthony Joshua negotiation. Like, I mean, who says that? Like, before, like, trying to make a match that you and your fighter are trying to make. Like, fucking make the fight. Throw a percentage out there. Like, I mean, if you deem that it's not it didn't help his cause, like, then what percentage do you throw at this current venue? You know, whether it's 40%. I'm not saying that that's what Wilder deserves, or I'm saying, like, you know, you come out with a percent off the rip, not no flat fee, or, you know, you had assholes like that channel Sporting Icons from that's based out of the UK, who talk like he has a dick in his mouth, who's like saying, oh, like, the contract's already set and the date, like, all the Wilder got to do is sign it. It's not like he's saying this like when Eddie Hearn, like, came up with that corny line a couple months ago. He's saying that shit like today or yesterday, like, in the comments, and he got like 260 something likes, like, on that comment. And this was not on his channel; it was like on somebody else's channel. Like, get off the dick already. And how is it like you're a boxing channel and you're repeating verbiage that, or like you're repeating dialogue that pretty much just started a couple years ago? Like, it's like corny, man. Like, you know, these dudes are like ill dick riders, bro. Like, I can't stand it. I mean, not that I can't stand it, because, like, life goes on. You know, at the end of the day, like, these dudes are getting no pussy. These dudes fucking probably have hemorrhoids. Like, they're the lowest man in the totem pole at their job. Probably cleaning toilets. Getting beat up in real life. Like, you know, like, you're the bottom rung, like, type dude, bro. You have, like, no chance. Like, I mean, like, your life is, like, dick riding AJ. And it's not even that you're, like, just dick riding AJ. It's like you're just strictly, like, knocking, like, Wilder, like, in the hope, and it sounds like it's like in the hopes that they don't make a fight happen. Like, it's like what kind of matches do you want to see? Do you want to see, like, supposed big events, which is gonna equate to a Klitschko rematch, a fucking fight with Usyk, and a fight with Dillian White? Sign me up. Like, riveting shit. I mean, like, in my heart of hearts, it's like I rather like Fury and Wilder run it back for a trifecta and let this Herb bleed like fucking if Eddie Hearn or AJ or like that camp doesn't come with like a respectable offer like in like 2 or 3 days, I would just start setting the parameters of having a rematch with Fury and Wilder off the rip, having that be the 3-peat. That'll be dope, man. Like I mean, I would love for that to be a run it back 2 more times, like type of rivalry. And it's whoever would be the loser or the winner of the rematch or the trifecta, whatever have you. AJ would still fight that dude, bro. Kidding me? AJ would probably fight the loser of that match, like before he fought the winner of that match. Particularly if Wilder were to come out the victor in like the rematch or the 3-peat. So you guys should do business amongst yourselves and let Eddie Hearn and AJ dry. Yeah, but that's all. I'm probably gonna try to make like videos regarding like fucking Anthony Joshua watch and more frequently than I do anything else. And like listen, I've heard other people say like, oh, I'm not even gonna give that situation any more credence or nah. I mean, like if I feel like doing it, I am gonna do it, like because it's worth talking about. There is other shit going on in boxing, but frankly, this is the biggest fight to be made. And a lot of the other potential matchups, I mean, with the exception of like Hurd and Charlo, that's not even that match. That's not like gonna be made next. I mean, Hurd even said it. You got to fight another right-hander. Like, okay, so we're gonna wait another year for that. All the other matchups, and even that like matchup, is not like for all the marbles or it's a cool matchup, but it's not the end all be all for like the most important division and for all the belts. The AJ Wilder matchup is. So if I talk about that more often than not, because I hear a lot of channels sometimes back off the block with that, and I guess because they become repulsed with the situation. I mean, so be it. One of the reasons that I like BFTB's channel so much, Best Fight the Best, and make sure you subscribe, is not only does he like not let them breed like the Anthony Joshua and Hearn for being such duck artists, but he's breaking down the finer points of like the stuff they say, because a lot of the stuff that they respond back to, or like a lot of the stuff that they say about Wilder, it's like regurgitated bullshit. It's like, oh, why didn't Shelly Finkel and Wilder meet with Eddie Hearn in New York? Like, all right, but and I won't even give you that point, but it's like the 90 other times that fucking Barry Hearn or Eddie Hearn have like bullshitted, and that kind of like just gets swept under the rug. Like, so it's good to have like people like that'll report on those instances, whether it be on the daily like or not. I think it's important like to cover this side of the argument. And then you also got to factor the fact that AJ has like a whole country behind him. Wilder and almost every other American fighter doesn't have a fucking state behind them, a city barely. So it's good like to have these people that contend against these people that have these regurgitated arguments like that, not only dick ride AJ, but just try to completely tear down Wilder. It's good to keep on their necks, as BFTB says on the daily. also too, another reason why it's good to do those things like as frequently as possible is because these other like asshole channels that like are up AJ's like ass, they'll make a video every day if they think that Hearn came out with a little snippet or a point that they could paint in a positive light. Besides that, they'll never go live. And I would love to go live, but I fucking have like 3 people like watching my videos at the moment, so like not gonna do it up yet. But like those channels that like endorse everything that Hearn says or like try to knock like Wilder at every turn, they'll never go live. I've never seen one of them go live. Personally, I mean, if you do like, I mean, like, you know, send it to me in a comment or something. And when Hearn or AJ does something that's not like that makes him look like or makes them look like in a bad light, they'll disappear for like 2 or 3 days. And like when they come back, they don't even discuss it. And these dudes, like, you know, it's not that they're doing important shit with their lives. Like they ain't on dates and shit like that, and that's why they're like backing off the block. These dudes are at home masturbating into fucking People magazine or some shit, like fucking not even seeing the sunlight. When Eddie Hearn or like that fucking moron sporting icons, if Eddie Hearn or AJ does something that's not in a fashionable light, those dudes are just watching shit on Netflix and masturbating, like rather than making videos with Anthony Joshua's pickle like fucking firmly down their throat. No homo. Damn, how did I even think that? But anyhow, yeah, I'm gonna cut it short on that note. Damn, it's pretty vulgar. Thanks for joining me. I'm gonna start talking other sports too, man. Like, cause I mean, like, sometimes boxing like gets disheartening to talk about, and I like other sports besides anyway. I like baseball, football. Know a lot of brothers like boycotted the NFL this year, but then they talk about the NFL, like, which to each his own, but still watching football. Basketball, I fuck with it here and there, but not like that. And the business of sports too, man. I want to talk about that too, and the gear. Like another thing I want to talk about too, like in future videos, I'm gonna start reviewing like clothes, cause I'm a big time polo. I love polo. I got like polo everything on, like fucking but this is a polo that I'm rocking today. I want to start doing like reviews of clothes, even though that doesn't sound like fun. Like, who cares? Like, fucking there's a lot of dudes, like, especially here in New York, who rock that double L, the low lives. I'm not a low life, like, but people that wear polo are, a lot of them call themselves low lives. So I want to do like reviews on like polo and other fine clothing that, you know, that I fuck with. And I'm not buying all that shit either, man, because fucking times are rough. I'm about to move into a new house, which it's kind of like gonna kill the funds. But hopefully I moved into my new cribs. Like, that's another thing. This month, so I'll probably take a small hiatus. I'm gonna do little bullshit videos here and there. But once I get the new crib set up, I'm gonna have like a fucking space dedicated to my for doing YouTube videos. Not for doing YouTube. Like, I'm not gonna have a space for that shit. I meant like I'm gonna have a like more legit space. Like, I'm gonna have like my little office set up with like my records, my guns. I fuck with guns too. I'm gonna start doing reviews on those too. Another shit. Alright, so thanks for joining me. As always, I'm your DJ, File Player. And I gotta like put you guys on to like when I'm doing my radio show here. Fucking I also do a radio show that you can catch online, but I'm taking a little hiatus on that because I'm trying to I got mad other shit going on, like including the house, and we're gonna start reformatting the show. Like, plus I'm moving to a different time slot. We're just trying to figure out what time slot where I get the most like the most shine. Here at WKRB 90.3. Yeah. So that's about it. Thanks for joining me. Peace.